My name is NILDA.mp4. At the age of 9 years old, I went out in the streets. I started running away from home and shoplifting and using drugs and stealing. And at the age of 11, I was locked up for 2 years. I served 2 years to the state of New York City. I came out when I was 14 years old. At 14 and a half, going on 15th, I got pregnant and I lost my first child. 15 going on 16, I got married and was married for 9 years. I have 5 children, 3 lovely girls and 2 sons. And I lost my children after being 9 years of marriage. I believe I was like 27 years old. I hit the streets of, came down to Miami and I hit the streets of Miami. I used to live in the streets. I used to be in and out of drug houses. I OD'd a couple of times. Well, I OD'd one time. I was in the what they call the shooting gallery house. I was I was shooting up some heroin up in my arms and smoking some crack. And I had an overdose, and the people that was in the house picked me up and threw me in the trash can because they didn't want me to be inside the house when the police come, because they didn't. It was a lot of drugs in there, so they threw my body into the dumpster, thinking that I was dead, and I must have been there for a couple of days, sleeping or in the dumpster. When I came through, the truck, the garbage truck was lifting up the dumpster, and I came out screaming at the garbage driver, telling him to let me down, that what was going on, what was I doing in here. And he said that he found that I was just in there, so most likely it was one of them overdoses that I did, and they threw me in the trash can. And I went back into the drug house trying to get high again. I don't know, I spent so many years in and out of prisons and jails and doing all types of drugs. Actually, my drug of choice used to be, I used to shoot heroin up my arms and smoke crack at the same time. I lost my kids, I lost my family, I lost everything. But at that time when I was doing the drugs, it didn't really matter to me, because my priority was just to live out there and do drugs. My mom, I came to her house one day and she invited me to the church, and she didn't want to go alone, and my dad was sleeping, so I got my dad's car and I drove her. And on the way down, I told her not to invite me into the church because I wasn't going to go in. But when I got in front of the church, when we arrived in front of the church, I guess through the grace of God, I got this funny feeling. My mom said she wanted me to just walk in for a few minutes to meet the pastor. And I walked inside the church, and I stayed there. They was doing the Israel campaign. So the following Sunday when we came back to church, people were still taking the envelopes up to the Israel campaign. And I had some money stashed in my mother's house to go out there, to go back out in the world and do drugs again. And I took it out of my stash and I put it in the envelope, and I went up to the altar and I left the envelope up on the altar, and I asked the Lord to liberate me, to save me, that I didn't want to be out in the streets anymore, really. Today I'm full of joy, I'm happy, most of all I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I learned that God sacrificed himself for me, and that he accepts me the way I am, and that my life is in his hands, and I'm protected by him, I'm under his wings, and he has turned my life around completely. I've been liberated. I'm free from drugs. Live a normal life. I have a condominium apartment. I have my own business. I'm an AC tech. I learned how to repair and do AC installations. And I have a little car. Israel campaign for me is life. To me, it's life. It's like a miracle. It's like I know a whole different world that I've lived on this planet, but this is a different world to me. It's a brand new world. I'm like a baby. I'm learning to live. I'm learning every day. I learn something. I get a different feeling, a different joy inside of me. It's too heavy. It's too much. It's life through Christ.